Sukadev Brits is founder of Yoga Vidya. He knows how to transmit profound wisdom humorously. His special ability is to motivate yoga aspirants to practice intensely, to see higher meaning in daily experiences, and to bring more energy and heart into everyday life. Sukadev Brits is the author of 10 books, among them commentaries on Yoga Sutra and Bhagavad Gita and the recently published Royal Path to Equanimity. He is quite active, spreading yoga via the internet in yoga videos and podcasts in English and German. Sukadev had spiritual experiences from childhood on. As a youngster, he was fascinated by the possibilities of the human mind and started with regular meditation as a teenager. He used to spend a few times several months in intense meditation and pranayama. In 1992, Sukadev founded Yoga Vidya, now one of the leading yoga movements in Europe. Yoga Vidya has 4 major ashrams, nearly 100 yoga centers, and 20,000 yoga teachers. Today, he lives in Germany, in Hornbach, Mainburg. Get inspiration and energy from this dynamic spiritual teacher. Please welcome Sukadev ji.
Namaste, Om Namah Shivaya. On behalf of Yoga Vidya, of United Consciousness, and of European Yoga Federation, I welcome you to a short talk with thoughts on spirituality in interpersonal relationships. I'm very grateful to Dr. Vikran and his team for organizing such a wonderful event. Over 100 speakers from all the continents, from many nations, from many different religions and spiritual traditions. Let's unite in one consciousness, one being. My topic today is spirituality in interpersonal relationship. I'm coming from Yoga Vidya, which is a Yoga Vedanta tradition. There are 4 aspects of yoga from which I want to take some suggestions for spiritual relationships. Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga. Jnana Yoga says, we are all one. There's one spirit in all of us, one consciousness. And when we meet somebody else, we can say, I am in you, you are in me. Mentally, we can feel that. If you see somebody, connect deeply with him, with her. Take some moment to feel unity. If you see your partner before you start talking, feel oneness. When you see your child, one moment, feel oneness. And with colleagues and friends, even with those who are unfriendly, be aware we are all one. Maybe you want to right now think of somebody. Feel one. In this moment, feel connected. Second of yoga, which gives some thoughts on interpersonal relationships, is Raja Yoga, the yoga of mind control. Raja Yoga on one hand side says, be ethical. A sign of a controlled mind is that you can remain ethical. And among all the ethical prescriptions, 2 are the most important. Satya, truthfulness, ahimsa, don't do harm. And you can, whenever you are together with somebody, you can think of, I want to be truthful and I don't want to do harm. More important than not doing harm, of course, is develop Maitri Bhavana, loving kindness. Patanjali mentions loving kindness on many different occasions. The 34th verse of the first chapter, Yoga Sutra, he says, mind becomes clear by developing loving kindness, compassion, serenity, equanimity towards pleasure, pain, vice, virtue. Patanjali says, when your mind is clear and quiet, then you realize your true self. And if you develop kindness, your mind will become calm. And on the other hand side, if you have a calm mind, it's easier to feel loving kindness. Patanjali gives a few hints how you can develop this loving kindness towards everybody around you. He says in the 3rd chapter, 17th verse, by doing full concentration on the sound of the other, you get intuitive knowledge of the other person. When somebody talks, be fully concentrated on the sound of his voice. Full concentration on what the other person says, and then you develop your intuition. 24th verse, the 3rd chapter, he says, Maitri Adishu Bhalani, develop the power of friendliness. The 19th verse, he says, through concentration on the thoughts of another, one obtains knowledge of his mind. So, from a point of view of Raja Yoga, to overcome your personal ego is see the world through the eyes of the other person. Try to understand him or her, become basically him or herself. Hridaya Chitta Samvit, by concentration on the heart, you get the knowledge of the mind. This feeling like the other is not just thinking, but with your heart, feel the heart of the other person. And if you feel the heart of the other person, then you get rid of the small prison of your own ego. 39th verse, he says, when the cause of attachment is loosened, the mind can put itself in someone else's place. Put yourself into someone else's place. Try to understand him, her completely. Feel like him or her. That's how you loosen your identifications. That's how your interpersonal relationships become deep and spiritual. Bhakti Yoga says, that's the 3rd path, Jnana Yoga, Raja Bhakti. Whatever happens, happens because of the divine. See all as God's children. Become aware God is behind everything. Ask yourself again and again, how does the divine manifest itself through the person in front of me? The essence of Bhakti is love. Love towards God, love towards nature, love towards all beings. Karma Yoga means you put all that into action. Karma Yoga means yoga of action and selfless service. You can always think, how can I help the person in front of me? What can I do to help him or her? And what can I learn with this person? What is my duty? Where should I work on myself? Meaning, by dealing with the others, where do I find parts in myself which have to be dealt with? And by being with others, you see where there's potential for developing. Most important, to summarize, most important in interpersonal relationship is love. The essence of spirituality is love. And the essence of spirituality in interpersonal relationships is love. We're all one. Let's understand each other. Let's feel love towards each other, whether husband, wife, children, parents, friends, colleagues. Let's put us in the shoes of the other. Let's learn from every aspect of our relationship. Let's feel together, work together, feel one consciousness, one being. Thank you all for listening. Let's become aware again and again. There's one consciousness, one humanity, one planet Earth. We're all interconnected. Let us feel this with heartfelt love. Let's work for unity, for connectedness, out of a spirit of oneness. Om Shanti.
Thank you very much, respected Sukhdevji. In very nutshell, you mentioned all 4 different parts of yoga and how they can contribute in making interpersonal relationship good. If you may permit me to ask a question which I got from some of the people. For an interpersonal relationship, many times ego becomes a problem. I am ready to keep my ego low, but another person always keeps it high. How to deal with it?
Putting love towards the other person. Because if the other person has seemingly a strong ego, usually they have little self-confidence. If you feel towards the heart of the other and you feel love, and of course then you have to do what has to be done. But this feeling of love is the essence.
Thank you. And that's amazing what you said, that people with high ego, somewhere in deep down in their heart, they have lack of confidence. So they need to be poured with more love, is it?
Yes.
Another question for interpersonal relationship is this, that I'm not very good at expressing myself, and I expect other person to understand me without expressing, which does not happen. I feel wounded.
Mhm. There are two aspects of it. One again is feel the heart of the other person. If you always think of yourself, shall I express myself, shall I not express myself, and so on, you create a barrier. If you yourself open your heart towards the other person and you also start asking questions about the other person, if you try to really show interest in the other person will start having interest in you. So that's the easiest part. Of course, there's another part. You can also say, I have the need to develop courage. So then write a few things you want to say and then just say them. Make a strong commitment. Today I'm going to talk about myself. And first, of course, you can say, well, I want to say a few things to you. Do you have time now, or when do you have time? And then you can say something. But I think more important, you really show interest in the other person. Usually the other person will show interest in you.
Last question, maybe a single liner answer or 2-3 lines will be good. We love each other, but late off we have seen that love has got converted into possessiveness. We know it is wrong, but it still happens, and that creates problem in relationships. How to deal with possessiveness?
There was some internet connection problem.
Okay.
Maybe you can just.
So the question is this, that love, when it gets converts into possessiveness, it starts creating problem. But we can't control that feeling of possessiveness. It automatically comes up. How to deal with it?
Again, is deepen the relationship with your heart and with love towards the other person. If that's really, you feel with your heart, the heart of the other, then the connection is strong. And if this connection is strong, it's a good protection against anything else.
Deepening the love eliminates possessiveness. Thank you. Thank you very much, respected Sukhdevji. We are really honored to get blessings. Thank you.
I humbly thank Shri Sukhdevji for teaching us the practical yoga practices for attuning our mind, body and soul. Thank you very much, Sukhdev.